all are more than welcome to join at Brian Bridges on YouTube. Going live, going in right now. Good evening. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. I am your host, Brian Taylor Bridges. Welcome to God First Christ Gang. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come join me. Like to discuss this lady out of Atlanta. She was in a situation to where she just snapped you all and wind up stabbing a few of her kids and also trying to burn the house down. Now, what possessed her to do all those things, we don't know. But, we're here today to discuss a few things and give some possible solutions, some possible solutions for mothers in a distress situation, Before I get off into all that, then I would like to, say a quick prayer, you all. So just bear with me, so that God can, come into my spirit and, lead my conversation. I don't want to say the wrong things, and I also want to deliver the right message to everybody that's out there listening, and especially to mothers in this situation, because this situation here is never cool. It's never okay. We don't know what went on into that house, but it was not right. It was a domestic call, you all, about some disturbance going on in the house fire, so forth and so on. Now, mind you, the father was nowhere around, so at this particular time. So I'm going to go ahead on and read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Title 17 USC Sections 107. Allowances made for fair uses for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Is tips to balance in favor of fair use, you all. So here I am. I'm going straight in again. I do have some news clippings and a few things I would like to read and discuss and talk about. Even discuss and talk about the issues of mental health. Mental health in a sense that, do these certain prescriptions work for people of mental health and, mental illness, So before I go off into any of these things and we elaborate on this whole thing, I'd like to share with you all the news clip.
A deadly fire in Paulding County leaves 3 children dead. Good evening and thanks for joining us on Fox 5 News at 10. I'm Alex Woodward. Tonight, a woman is behind bars facing charges for the incident authorities call a domestic disturbance and house fire. Fox 5's Joy Dukes has more on what community members call a senseless tragedy.
Again, you all on the ground. Welcome to join me on
a small memorial is growing just down the driveway from this home. We're told several children jumped out of the second-story window to escape, and several neighbors told us that they are heartbroken and in shock that something like this could happen so close to home.
I just don't know who would do that to their kids.
Well, the investigation into a fire at this home on Woodland Drive is ongoing. Paulding County residents are trying to process the tragic loss of 3 children who were inside at the time and died, allegedly, at the hands of the person who was supposed to protect them.
You just don't think things like that are going to happen.
Paulding time.
Cue it back for you all because
County residents are trying to process the tragic loss of 3 children who were inside at the time and died, allegedly, at the hands of the person who was supposed to protect them.
You just don't think things like that are going to happen.
Paulding County authorities say they received a call about the fire and a domestic disturbance at the home just after 9 o'clock Friday. They were told at the same time flames were growing inside the home. 40-year-old Darlene Brewster was trying to stab the children.
I can't even imagine. I've got 8 kids, and I mean, kids get on your nerves and stuff like that, but you just don't do stuff. I mean, it's just.
Now here this lady come on and say she got 8 kids, and by the grace of God, you just don't do that. These are some of the things that you just don't do. Now, mind you all, the father did make it to the location a few hours later, so which lets you know that he was somewhere in their life, and they didn't seem to be in no financial situation, because they had a very nice home, whether they was renting or leasing or they owned it. They was in a decent neighborhood. The yard seemed to be manicured, there was adequate enough space in the home, for them to be okay, like I said, I don't really know the situation of the father. He could have been gone at work. He could have been out home. He could have been doing the wrong thing and she just needed him to be home. However, it's still no excuse for killing your own children, for snapping to, getting to a point to where you so stressed out that you just snap and kill your children, especially a mother, because the mother is the nurturer. She is the first teacher. She is the foundation of a family. So like I said, I don't know what possessed this lady to do this. I do, man. I go on a few scenarios how and why I believe that a mental illness is not the answer or not the case, and medication cannot fix some of these things, and I'll tell you all why in just a second. But just for the first moment, I'd like to say that for the mothers that are, whether you single parents or not, I'm fit to give you all a few tips in the link below that that we as parents, especially single mothers or just mothers that's just stressed out, because there's so many things you can do, man. The child, the devil is after the innocent, the children, he come to destroy. And right now we at spiritual war. It's a real spiritual war out there, man. It's real demons and it's real good people. It's real angels. It's real people that's in the body of Christ. So there's no excuse, because so many things. You can bring the baby to the church, the fire department, the emergency room, the hospitals, to your in-laws' house. I mean, there's so many things that you can do, if you that stressed out, if you just stressed out to the point that, man, you just pulling your hair out. I mean, it's a lot of things you can do to resolve these type of issues. Now, we don't know. Like I say, the father could have been out there working, or he could have been either doing wrong, but it's still no excuse, but even so, as fathers, let's not, as men, be out here in the streets, leaving our women and children at home, in these stressful situations, and it's not good, because, as men, we don't realize some of the stress issues that, our ladies, baby mothers, wives, and whoever it may be, we don't realize some of the stress that they could possibly be under, so let's be mindful of these things. Like I say, I'm going to share a few tips, some stressful tips. Well, we can get off into that pretty much right now, but I'm going to go ahead on and pretty much let the video finish you all, so you all can, have a full, broader perspective of what has just occurred. Because, like I say, it's not only a sad situation, man, but, it takes a village to raise a child. I mean, so these are some of the things that we should all be involved with. trying to help each other, trying to be there for one another, reaching out and saying that, welcome men, children and other kids into our homes, into our, livelihoods, that we take time out to spend, with these children, So I'm going on to say, let the video continue to play.
The unimaginable situation.
Residents David and Robin Zerby recalled the chaotic scene just down the street from their home.
We thought they were searching for someone. We wish it was just searching for someone and not the news we found out this morning.
Another neighbor told Fox 5 they witnessed other residents trying to help some of the kids out of the home, while others jumped out of a second-story window.
I'm just glad they got out. For that woman to do that is just unbelievably selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, all she had to do is take the kids to a hospital, drop off.
Fire crews got the flames under control and found the remaining children inside. 2 of them were dead at the scene, while medics rushed 3 others to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. But one of those children later died.
There's nothing about that made sense anywhere, anyhow.
On Saturday, residents with heavy hearts.
They found, one of the children dead at the top of the stairs, and like I say, a few was able to jump out, and they did get those 2 to the hospital, and in which one of them died later, and the other one is still fighting for his life, and they did apprehend the mother. They found her in the backyard, I don't know if she was getting ready to run or what she was trying to do, but she was not in the house fire. She ain't killed herself, so she wasn't that crazy, she ain't died up in there with them, so that was a bad, very bad situation, and before I'm gonna go ahead on and read these 12. I'm gonna read the news report to you all, because I do have a small news report as well, So y'all bear with me a moment, and I'm gonna read the news clip that I did have. So it say a 4th child dies after a woman allegedly tries to stab a kid during a house fire. Sheriff officer says, it's a Portland County, Georgia. A deadly fire at the home of Woodwind Drive in Portland County claims the lives of 4 children on Friday. The sheriff officer said a woman is behind bars and facing charges of the incident that authorities call a domestic disturbance and house fire. A domestic disturbance and house fire. Like I said, the father was gone. We don't know if he was out doing wrong or possibly doing the right thing. But in my opinion, she probably was calling him, telling him to come on home and so forth and so on. Just my perspective, I could be wrong, but it's just an opinion. And she trying to get him home and just snapped. But like I said, I'm going to go over some issues about whether this is mental or not, Yeah, it say the Portland County Sheriff Office said Saturday morning 4 children died from injuries related to the incident. Deputy Tyler reported another child is hospitalized, minimum injuries. It said while the investigators into the fire is going, residents are trying to process the tragic loss of the children who were inside at the time and died, allegedly at the hands of the person who was supposed to protect them. I just don't know who would do this to their kids, residents. Ms. Holly said Portland County authorities said they received a call about a fire and a domestic disturbance at the home just after 9 p.m. They were told at the same time flames were growing inside the home. 40-year-old Darlene Brister was trying to stab the children. She was in there. Not only was the house on fire, but she was trying to stab them all at the same time. She had to be sick or selfish or so self-centered that she didn't care about anything or anyone. Resident Miss Robin said. It said she and her husband recalled a chaotic scene just down the street from their home. Another neighbor told witnesses residents were trying to help some of the kids get out of the home while a few others jumped out a second-story window. So they had jumped out of the two-story window that I had all illustrated to you all. The fire crew got the flames under control and found the remaining children inside. 2 of them were pronounced dead at the scene, while medics rushed 3 others to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. One of those children later died. There's nothing about that makes sense anyway. You know, like I say, it was just senseless, you know. And I like to read 12 steps to you all, you know, like I said, about some mothers, you know, if y'all watching this, y'all looking, y'all could be possibly stressed out, man. You know, there's so many things that you can do. I do have some adoption information, you know, some good information, some solid information where the mother, you all can still be involved with the kids. You know, if you later change your mind, that you still can, you know, go back and retrieve your child. You know, you know, it's a lot of things that you can do that these adoption agencies, they are good and willing to help. You know, you can choose the family that you want your child to be with. You can you know, have some morals and principles that you would like to be in the families that adopt your child. You know, there's so many things, you know. Before I get off into that, you know, and read a small portion of that, I'm going to go over the 12 tips, you know, that I have. And I did share the link below for the mothers that, like I said, is in a stressful situation. It said parenting stress, 12 evidence-based tips for making life better, you know. And it says, number 1 is need social support. It said you need some social support, you know. You know, whether it be a friend, it say reach out. It's a reach out, even if it's just a phone call or parenting. Even if you ain't online, you know, you have some kind of social, be social with other people. Don't just be in the house sad, depressed. I mean, you could still be a parent and have a social life. You could still call people and check on people. You know, you can still be friendly with people, call and have conversations. Always have somebody other than your baby father. Always have somebody other than your baby mother. You know, where somebody that you can call and that they will possibly listen to you, whether it's a cousin. You know, it don't have to be nobody of the opposite sex that's going to cause a problem in your relationship, but it could be a cousin or uncle or little nephew or big brother, you know, somebody that you look up to, you know, somebody that you can possibly talk to on a grown adult level. You know, it's a have some kind of that kind of support. And number 2, it said, you know, racing your exposure to negative thoughts and negative media. Now, if you have a negative thoughts and, you know, and you are on social media or any other platform, and maybe you are talking to people that's negative and always got something negative to say, you know, kind of shun those people. You know, you don't want to be around people that's always talking negative, always feeding you negative thoughts, always giving you negative energy. You know, it's like soul ties. You know, you want to disconnect yourself from these kind of things or these kind of people, you know, because you can also bring that into your own home, you know, and they can reflect in your parenting or your relationship with your spouse or a friend, lover, or girlfriend, baby mama, whoever it is, you know. So alleviate that negativity, you know, between the relationship or the family structure or the friendship, you know. Just alleviate the negative, you know, aspects of it, you know. They say focus on good acts. warm, kindness, and caring. Focus on good things. Focus your mind on positiveness, and don't just man, these kids running around here all day. They doing this, they doing that. Think about the positive things that your kids are doing, because they are doing something positive. Whether it's just laughing, whether they just happy, that's a sign of joy. Kids playing too much, that's not they don't need no ADA medicine. They just being children. They just, they curious, they want to play, they want to do all kind of things. They just innocent. They learning, they not making the right decisions. They not doing all the right things. So we have to be involved with that. But think about the good things that they do. Whether if they make a B, or a C, maybe they throw a football good. Maybe they, focus on the positive things that they doing. So number 4, it say use insights or psychology to help your future. Use insights. Let's say in the comic novel Warehouse Massive, I always know that people will need. Even before they do, you can take steps to become your own job. I don't too much understand that one, but it's, like I say, it's under there. And if you all read number 4, you can give me some feedback as well, because I'm learning as I'm growing. I haven't always been the best of anything, but I'm never a quitter, and I'm never going to give up, and I'm going to learn how to do better. God said that my latter days will be greater, so that I'm constantly praying that these things manifest into my life as well. Budget for more time to do things, even, think about things. You have to structure a time, budget, yourself time, whether they sleep or not, and you just getting an hour to yourself. Maybe it may be a bubble bath and some Epsom salt, budget some time for yourself where you can prepare and plan your days out, as a parent, so it said when bad things happen, this is number 6, when bad things happen, reappraise the situation. When bad things happen, reappraise the situation. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good thoughts you think, stressful things do happen, but even then there is a lot you can do to cope. Okay. And then moving along, number 7, it say, is your sense of empathy you out, in your sense of empathy, stress you out. Get in touch with more clear-headed problems solving sides of your empathetic nature. It's when your kids is miserable, you feel the pain. When your kid's sad, you feel sad, so kind of eliminate that, it may be helpful. Okay, number 8, moving along, because it's not much, you all. It say look for particular sleep, man. You have to get the proper sleep. So schedule sleep. 8 hours is the best, but 8 hours is, everybody can't get 8 hours of sleep, especially when you're up at night. You trying to learn something. You trying to prepare yourself for the future, or you trying to get some extra work done on your own time. But keep in mind that you do need some proper rest. So I'll suggest 5 to 8 hours sleep. Without the proper sleep, you can wake up, you cussing out the kids, your husband, your boyfriend, baby daddy, you cussing out everybody. You don't get the proper sleep. Your mind is not fresh at all. So it say number 9, it say help children cope with their own stress. Teach siblings and each other, teach them kids how to work out their problems when they fussing all the time and fussing over toys and so forth and so so on. Then you sit them down and teach them how to take turns, so they won't be screaming and hollering at each other, talking about this mine and this mine and that's mine and this mine. Teach them how to share, and love one another, that'll keep them from fighting and running through your house and breaking up everything. And then number 10, it say make time for inspiration. Some things make us happy, because it offers immediate self-pleasure. Other things make offer more lasting, meaningful type of happiness, So make time for inspiration. Make time for things that inspire you, whether it's reading a book of how to get your business right, make time for things that inspire you, whether it's just you reading something, you trying to be a better cook, and you just reading some information on how to get a better recipe, then make time for things that inspire you. Look at people that push you to be a better person, push you to the next level, desire to be inspired, like I say, communicate with people that inspire you, talk to people that inspire you, that's number 10. And it say number 11, it say tap into stress busting effects of nature. It say that means go into a nature walk, take you a walk in a nature park, get by the water where they fishing it, somewhere where you can go up in the mountains, go to the river, just get somewhere where it's just nature and you, where you can see a few butterflies crawling or flying by or something, the birds where they chirping, where God's majesty is at its highest, highest power, this is when the spirit of the Lord is, can come close to you, for a time. I used to be real stressed out and, I would dip off and try to get to Galveston somewhere just to feed the birds, and just get by the water, just hear that sound, the sounds of the Lord, for some people, they get in the bubble baths and listen to, they have this tranquil sound, sound of tranquility, of running water, like I say, that's just something that's also helpful. And last but not least, number 12, did I pass it up or was that it? I think so. Number 12 is say get out and exercise, but make it fun. I mean, everybody can't do the same exercise. Everybody can't get on the weight lift and lift all the racks. And some of them women, they don't want to get on certain treadmills. Get your jump rope. Do something that's fun for you, for your own self, for your own health, like I say, these are some of the good stress factors, that we can deal with as parents. Like I said, another thing with the mental health thing, mental health to me, some of these things and situations are not curable because we have to look at the side effects of some of these drugs, that they giving people that's paranoid, schizophrenic, or may not have this certain type of depression, because it's only a temporary fix, some of these are actually demons, like I was saying before, when a demon jump in somebody, ain't no medication gonna really do that, like back when I was over 20 something years ago, almost 30 years, I went to prison, so but they had this type of medication for them real killers, for them people that's just crazy. They been done something off the wall and they got them life sentence. They hit them with something called Thurazine. Now you all listen, a Thurazine is something that really kind of sedates you. It really kind of just coat the situation. It'll have you comatose, like it'll just have them like, in a comatose state. But people have to realize the demon is still inside of them. When the medication wear off, people go back to being the same people. They have the same kind of spirits. You know, they have the same kind of interactions. The medication it is only a temporary fix. You know, it's almost like a strong ADA medicine. You know, when them kids playing, they want to put them on that ADA medication. You know, that's one of the things. I mean, that's not good for them kids, you know, because they also have side effects, you know, instead of allowing them to be children, you know, like I say, it's not, you know, it's not something that medicine can fix to me. You know, like I say, that's just in my opinion. It's not nothing that medicine can actually fix. I mean, when a demon jumps in somebody, that's like almost having an exorcism. You can't put nothing but faith in the Lord on them. You have to put the body of Christ on them. You have to put Yeshua on them, you know. And you know, like I say, it have a lot to do with soul ties, you know. Like I said, in my opinion, this lady was just highly stressed out and probably wanted her baby daddy to be home, or maybe he was living a double life. But you know, like I said, it's still no excuse. You know, it's still no excuse for these type of actions. You know, at all. You know, and I'm gonna go ahead on and give you all, even for some ladies that's stressed out, man. Like I said, I did have this thing. Let me see if I can get to it, about abortion, not abortion, excuse me, because that's going on right now, and you know that's a sad situation. You know, so you know, man, the Lord is He is present. But anyway, I want to read to some of these ladies about this adoption thing I was reading. You know, because even if you stressed out to where you feel like, you know, man, that ain't even the last resort. You know, to stab your children up, you're gonna burn the house down because you stressed out. Oh no. So like I say, you always can, you know, you can take the kids to the emergency room. You can take them to the church. You know, so I know y'all had a church somewhere around there. Emergency room, to the police station. You know, it's so many places. But like I said, the adoption agency was high on my radar. I had never looked into nothing like that, you know. But I want to share this with some ladies that could be stressed out, because in this situation they don't possibly know, you know, how easy it is, you know, how much that they can actually be involved. So you all bear with me. My mama's done. Let me see. I have to find my email, because I sent it. Here we go. I sent it to my email, you all. So okay. So I'm back to it. All right. It's also a 1-800 24/7 adoption support line, and the adoption thing. You know, adoption. It's adoption.com. You know, they do have a service line, a 1-800 number, 1-800-236-7898. Again, that's 1-800-236-7898. But like I said, I want to read off a few things, because it say, you know, one, it said, number one, I'm going to read off 5 quick tips, you all, and then I'm going to go, you know, in my program. It say, choose a family you love to adopt your baby. That means you can choose your own family. You can choose the particular family that you want for your baby, because you still love your baby, but you could be in a financial situation. You could be going through anything. I mean, life occurs, you know. So number one is you can choose the family. You can run through the list like we run through these. Y'all run through the face. We run through all these other lists like a menu. You can choose the family. their best fit show portfolio. You can browse through the portfolio. It said assistance in making contact with families you choose. They will help you make the contact. Say you embarrassed, you could be ashamed of what you're going through. I mean, they'll still help you make contact. They'll call the people on your behalf. So like I say, there's no excuses, you all. They said we provide families who completely orientation, background checks, interviews. Now, these the families that adopt your baby. They get the full interview. Now, for number 2, you all, is medical assistance. We want to know that the families that's going to be possibly adopting one of the children, or one of the children that you can't handle, maybe you don't like his baby daddy. Well, somebody that do. It's somebody out there that can't have children, that they've been wanting children all their life, they could have a medical situation that's going on with them. They cannot just be bad people. It could be a medical condition that will not allow them to have children. So these are women out there that really love children, and they want a family. They want the family that you don't want to have. So you all take this into consideration. It said, do you need help? If you need any kind of help, they help with all the medical things. Number 3, it said having a relationship with your children after adoption. That means you can still get them up for adoption, and maybe when you get yourself together 2 or 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, you can still form a relationship with your child. They said that they're not cutting you off, that you still can call and check up on them. You still can come visit, man. You still can pull up. You still can have that relationship that you think will no longer be there. You can still have it, And number 4, it said one-on-one support with the birth mother. That means they're going to give you one-on-one support with the parents who adopting your child, and they're going to give you one-on-one support with them, so that you can best get your life and yourself together if this is the situation. And it's number 5, last but not least, it's a birth mom's answers video, So it said common adoption questions answered by real birth moms who have placed their children under adoption. Now, they saying before you even do this, you can talk to some other people that's been in a program that has had to give a child up for adoption. How involved they still are actually with their own child, the child that they had to give up because, like I say, it's some people that love their children to death. They just in a bad situation. They may be strung out on anything, but you can still get, you can still have that relationship. That's all I want to say. Like I said, this is a very sad story to me. I had to pray before I came on. I wanted to pray at the beginning of the video, but I had so much I was trying to say, and I'm glad the Holy Spirit took over and just done his thing, because ain't no telling what I would have said, if I was out of body, and out of pocket. So, man, praise the Lord for that, and thank you all for joining me. Like I said, this is a bad situation, you all, and the stress level is high. Like I said, again, I don't think it's, I actually think it's demons out there, man. I think believe in the spirit. I believe in the spirit of the Lord, and I know it's a heaven. I believe in heaven just like it's a hell. I know it's a hell, and that's a place that none of us want to go. Like I said, be careful with the people that you connect to, because spirits actually jump. They actually move. Spirits move. They get into other people, through other people, through contact with other people, through sex, you can possibly catch a demon. You know, if you having sex with the wrong person, you just, you know, it's some witches out there. You know, there's some wizards out there too, some warlocks or whatever they call them. You know, it's those kind of people out there. You know, like I said, medication is not a cure because it's only a small hindrance. What I want to say, it only sedates the person. It only sedates the body. But what's inside the body continues to dwell, you know. So, like I said, that's just my opinion on some of these paranoid, schizophrenic type people. These people who just snap, you know, just drop, you know, at the drop of a dime, they still have this same type of spirit within them, and it's not a medication, in my opinion, that can handle that. Only Yahshua Christ, the Lord, you know, is equipped for that kind of mission, you know, and that be the spirit that's within all of us. You know, we are the body of Christ. For our first Christ came. I'm out.